I used to think my life would always look the same: broke, overwhelmed, and stuck in cycles I hated. But the only thing keeping me there was a belief I didn't even know I had. And chances are, you probably aren't aware of it too. So in this video, I'm going to show you what that belief is and how to break it so you can finally change your life however you want it to be and live the life you dream of. Now, this mindset, this belief is so pervasive. It is everywhere. I remember like a year ago when I was working at this mental health facility. I was doing this intake for this man, or just not even an intake, but just talking to him. And I remember he was saying something like, people will never see him as a human. He will only be a crackhead to other people. And he was just going on and on about how he was stuck in a situation and nothing would change for him. And I can understand because at the same time, you know, I'm working at this mental health facility, but many people there are homeless, addicted to drugs, and just struggling. But as I was listening to him speak, I couldn't take it anymore. And I looked at him and I said, you can change. You're not a tree. And I think he took that to heart because he sat up straight, like immediately after I said that. And I could see there was this curious look on his face. Like I felt like I was the first person to tell him, like, yeah, your situation is what it is, but you don't have to be stuck there. Like that's not the case. But you sitting there complaining about where you are, that's not gonna do anything. And now this is an extreme case. This is a person who's homeless, who isn't making money, who is hustling in the streets. Like I can understand why in that situation he would be complaining like that. But there's been other people in that same situation. There's this guy, I think his name is Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. But anyway, this dude was eating out of garbage cans. But now he's a top figure, like a rich man speaking, a public speaker. I said that horribly, but you get my point. Now, how many times have you done the same thing that this guy, this client I was talking to has done? How many times have you said, oh, I can't do this based off where you are? Oh, this won't work out. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Like you don't think about you being able to figure this out. You only focus on the things that you can't do. And this is something that I struggled with for so long when I was first starting business because I didn't know what the heck to do. Like I didn't know how to start a business, how even what went into that, how to find clients or customers, what to make. Like it was very difficult in the very beginning. And so I remember it was constant struggle for me. I would get overwhelmed watching a video teaching me something. I think I couldn't do it. My mind was shut down and I would run away from that and just watch TV or scroll somewhere else on my phone to feel better. Like that's literally what happened to me. So this mindset is very pervasive. And what this mindset is called is a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is where you think what you have right now is where you're only gonna get. Like you're fixed, you're stuck in place. That's it. And so with a fixed mindset, like my brother, he has one with basketball. Like, every time I tell him I'm playing basketball, he'll be like, I wish mom had me start basketball earlier so then I can finally play basketball. And I tell him every time, that you have a fixed mindset because you think because what you don't have the skills right now, you can't get them. Well, what about me? I didn't have the skills. I couldn't shoot. But I didn't have that fixed mindset to think, well, if I can't shoot now, I never can. So I went on the court and practiced and got better and learned. Like that's how pervasive this fixed mindset is. It will limit you constantly by telling you that you can't do anything other than what you've already done. Now that's one mindset you can have, and that's what most people have, and that's where they're mostly stuck in life, not getting anywhere because they've agreed to the fact that what they are is all they're gonna get. Now, you can also have the growth mindset. And the growth mindset is where you say, what I have now is not all I can get. I can grow and get more. I can grow and become more. I can grow and change anything I want. That's the growth mindset. And what happens when you have that growth mindset? Well, here's what happens. Let's go back to the homeless man complaining as a crackhead. Fixed mindset. He stays in that position. Let's go over to Eric Thomas. I don't know if that's his name or not. Hold on. Let me look it up. Is it Eric Thomas? Well, yeah, it's Eric Thomas. He is a motivational speaker and author. Anyway, now let's look over to Eric Thomas. You have the growth mindset. Eating out of garbage cans. No business doing that. Now he's a public speaker and author. So you can see the difference right now. It's clear cut of why having a growth mindset is a lot better than having a fixed mindset because your growth mindset allows you to grow. Now the question is, what kind of mindset do you want? Do you want a fixed mindset or growth mindset? And depending on what mindset you want determines how your reality will be. It's either going to be the same or it's going to grow, develop, and get better. And if you want the growth mindset and you're like, okay, well, how do I even start growing this? Like, what do I do? Well, first, you want to start becoming aware of all the things that you're letting get into your head. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into detail of how thoughts work, how the mind works. That's a whole separate video. All I say is your mind is essentially a repeat or a loop of things it's already heard. Okay, and so you might hear, oh, I can't do this, just pop up in your mind, right? But that didn't come from you. That came from the people you've spoken to who put the insecurities onto you. The people who said, oh, I can't do this, and then you internalize that, oh, wait, maybe I can't either, because if they can't do that, and that's who they are, and I can't. So, like, the mind is very tricky. And so, you need to be aware of it. You need to be aware of its tendency to repeat what it's hearing most often. Like when you get a song stuck in your head and it just keeps repeating, that's what thoughts do. Except it's not as immediate. Like you can hear someone say something to you and then it's stuck in your head and it's playing silently over and over and over again. And then when you see something come up, that thought comes louder. So let's say you had a thought, I can't, stuck in your head and it's just playing back over and over again silently. So you're not conscious of it. When something comes up that's hard and you feel some emotion, like some frustration, some anxiety because you're doing something hard, now you're going to hear that I can't getting louder. You're conscious of it now. And that's going to dictate how you move. So I didn't mean to go too far off topic, but essentially you just want to be aware of what's getting in your mind and ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? And if it's hurting you, reject it. If it's helping you, keep it. Now I always give this example of that song by Logic when he was singing, I don't want to be alive. I just want to die. I just want to die today. Like, people were eating that song up. That was a really good song, right? And I literally would not listen to it because what is he saying in your head? Like what is going to get played back? I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be alive. I want to die today. Like that is gonna be loop, and it's even worse because it's a song, and so you're gonna loop the chorus. Is just gonna loop over and over and over again in your head. Now, what's that gonna do to you down the long run to your mindset? Well, if you're constantly telling yourself, I don't want to be alive, and you're singing it, and you're feeling these emotions while you're singing it, well, then you're subconsciously going to accept the idea that you don't want to be alive. So now your energy force is going to go away, and you're going to feel lazy, and you're going to procrastinate, and you're not going to do the things you want to do, because why would you when you don't want to be alive? This stuff, I know it seems so simple, like overlooked, but I'm telling you, this is what, like, this is big game stuff right here. I mean, think about McDonald's, right? McDonald's knows you know where it is. It knows you can go down the street and get it, but still, McDonald's is putting out commercials and ads. Why? Because even though you're not paying attention to it, these marketers know that if they can get a message in your head subconsciously, that will more than likely influence your behavior. So even if you're not paying attention to an ad, if you walk around and you see something that's familiar to that ad, you're more likely to move towards that thing rather than something else you haven't seen. And now let's bring this back to your mind, right? If McDonald's knows you just gotta be able to see it, you ain't gotta pay attention, but that will influence your behavior. Now imagine you hearing these, I don't want to be alive, I want to die. You're not really conscious, but it's getting inside of you. And it's influencing your behaviors. This stuff is very small and it's very easy to overlook. I'm telling you, if you don't overlook this stuff and you go all in on it, you will see a change in your life because your mindset will change. Your mindset is only what you fed it. That's it. So you want to become aware of what you're feeding it. If it's something that's harming you, get away from it. And this is you ain't gotta be like anal about it. You know, I'm more so like 80-20. I'll listen 20% of things that I know is like poison to my mind because I'm human and I want to indulge in the flesh of the human pleasures, whatever. And then 80% is just good stuff or it's just silence. You know, lately it's really just silence. It's just easier than trying to be in this world. Um, and now you might be wondering, okay, well, it's easy for me to get away of like bad stuff, but what about good stuff? Because if we're in a society that's mostly fixed mindsets, it's not like you're normally going to find someone with a growth mindset that's talking life into you. And that's something that I struggled with as well. Like, it's not easy to find someone who's talking when I'm talking. You know, it's not easy to find someone who's enlightened and empowering you, especially in the society. So you gotta you gotta take power into your own hands and be intentional. Feed yourself 5 minutes of something empowering every day. This can be a book you read, somebody you listen to. Maybe you keep listening to me. Seminars, audiobooks, anything. Okay, it doesn't matter. And if I'll give you some help, I'm gonna have 3 links in the description of seminars that you can get started with. That would definitely help you out along the way. That would help you that would help you get a growth mindset, because what's gonna happen is you'll be listening to empowering things and you're gonna hear things no one's ever said to you before. You're gonna hear things like you are great and greatness is inside of you. Nothing can control how you feel except you. You have power. Like, these people are going to speak life into you. And the outsider might be like, oh, but that's just motivational, rah, rah, rah. If you're just hearing motivational stuff, not doing, no, that's not the point. The point is you're building up your mindset. Your mindset controls everything. Understand that. Your mindset controls everything. So you have got to purposefully build it up to accept no limits, to think it's the best, to think that it can achieve whatever it wants to. Because if that's how you're thinking, you're gonna be like Eric Thomas, the man eating out of the garbage trashes, who is now a public speaker and author. Like, that's what the growth mindset would do for you. So it's really important that you do this, because our society literally wants us to be weak-minded. Like, look around at society and ask yourself, what do you normally see? What do they value? Well, our society values entertainment, working for someone else, and not improving yourself. Like, that's what's valued if you look around. And if you talk to people, they're just complaining right now. They're complaining about the prices. They're whining about this and that. They're putting the blame on everybody else except themselves. And they're just caught up in drama and the latest new TikTok. Like, what? And we're stuck in this society. Well, when you come out, the first thing you get is a chicken nugget and an iPad. Our society wants us to be weak, and they do it by mental warfare. Because the more weak you are in your mind, the more easier you are to control. Look around at the masses and what they're doing. Does that not seem controllable? Do they not seem like they're being controlled? Think about it. This is some deep stuff. Like, you really want to think about this stuff, because most creators won't tell you this. They won't. But like, your mindset and like the society we're in is so important that you like focus attention on that. And that's what I did when I worked at Walmart. Like, literally, the reason I am who I am, the reason I'm able to talk the way I talk, is because when I worked at Walmart for 3 years, all I would do was watch self-improvement videos. I would listen to seminars, and I listened to podcasts and audiobooks, all teaching me different things and showing me how to look at the world differently. And so that deeply influenced me. Like, I feel like I went to college during those 3 years at Walmart on the self, on myself, on like improving how I saw the world and just improving my confidence and just everything. Look where I am now. Like, I'm so grateful I did that. Like, it is so important that you start training your mind. Now, if you're still watching this video, chances are you don't want to live in default mode. And you know what that is, where you just wake up and you go to work, and then you come home and you watch TV and scroll and eat junk food, and then you go to bed and wake up an hour before work, and you go to work, and then the weekends party, and then Monday back to work. You know what I'm talking about. You don't want to do that. Well, improving your mindset is a big step in leaving default mode, but there is more, okay? Just because you have a good mindset, that's not going to immediately change everything. So that's why I made the Live by Design course, to give you all the tools you'll ever need to finally change your life and get out of default mode forever. You'll be living more intentional. So if you're interested in that, go to the first link in my description and go check that out. Now, if you take control of your mind and you start strengthening it through empowering things, you will become the type of person who can achieve anything, literally, and nothing will be impossible to you, because you won't accept things as impossible, because you've got a winner's mindset, a growth mindset, that anything can be done. And then you're going to join the high achievers who achieved wonderful things because they believed in themselves and their ability to create it. And I want to give you a quote by Albert Einstein that is a clear example of a growth mindset. In that he said, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. And why does he stay at problems longer? It's because he believes he can fix them. He can solve them. And so while others are thinking, oh, I can't do this, I quit, he's thinking, I can figure this out. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Now, if you don't want to work on your mindset, then look around right now. Like, take a good look around. What you see right now is all you will ever get. And in fact, it will get worse because life is a constant stage of movement. It's either going up or it's going down. And if you're not intentionally making your life go up with a growth mindset, then it's intentionally going to go down. So where you are right now, it'll actually be worse down the line. So look around now and don't get used to this, because you're going to be worse if you don't work on your mindset. That's how important it is. If you like this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, you know what to do, and I'll see you for the next one.